to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The good bad guys of wrestling podcast are back. We're talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. I'm your host, Brian, and Jason is here.
Hi,
Joe
guys.
is here. Hello. Oh, I see what you did.
Glad to be here.
We'll get
We
to
could
that.
Make sure to recycle your aluminums and your paper. Don't put it in regular trash.
We could
Please
learn so
recycle.
much from him.
Yes. If only there was a tree to have branches of. Kevin, I think will be here. We think. We'll see. Guys, I'm under the weather. Not going to lie to you. Just nose, throat stuff in the last day. And I was wondering, do either of you two have like a go-to of like, I'm getting sick, I gotta have X? And you guys have
No,
any like that?
ecstasy is not good to take when you're getting sick. So no.
And
don't do
Okay,
that.
fair.
And it's funny you're getting sick when it's game one of the NBA Finals tonight. Funny how that works.
It is. I gotta go. Yeah, no.
Yeah, you know what? My students
Yeah.
get this all the time. We like to call it pretendinitis. Is that what you're feeling right now?
No,
It's called ligma. I got a bad case of the ligma.
I know it sounds ridiculous,
Yeah.
but my wife thinks I'm insane. But when I'm starting to get sick, I do something to work up a sweat and just let it all drain out.
I think there's valid reasons for doing that. I've thought that before. Yeah. It's like get your body moving, like, work those germs out of you. Yeah, I don't think that's like that crazy.
I put a dab of Vicks under my nose and just let it drain out.
By
It's
Vicks,
gross.
you mean?
Vicks, yes.
I was gonna make a comment, but I'm not gonna be that guy.
Oh, boy.
Thank you. I do that, and
a
it's
nose
just
candy.
yes. I think everyone can infer what you're talking about, but yeah, I do that, and that pretty much drains it all out. Especially if it's like a head cold,
Yeah.
like literally gets the sinuses taken care of. Or
Okay.
put it on your chest in the shower, really hot shower, and the steam and the Vicks will just like basically sweat it out. So Jason's right on that one too. That's how I get through the little petri dishes I work with all year.
Yeah, you get it 5 days a week.
Right,
From
but I don't
all
like
angles.
I don't take days off because writing sub plans is a nightmare. I can't stand it. So I'd rather just go to work than have to type out every single thing I do for the day.
Isn't that some wrestler's gimmick, like Mr. No Days Off?
I don't
Yeah, it
know.
was
Who?
Darren Young, Fred Ross.
Darren Young! Shout out to Darren Young!
Yeah.
The Darren Young of teachers is on our
No
podcast
days
here.
off.
Mr. Joe. Wow.
Hundreds of dollars. Hundreds of dollars.
All right. Well, I'll take those tips under consideration. So let's plow through this week in the world of professional wrestling. We got to go back to last Friday with SmackDown. I was I don't know. Were you guys seeing the AJ Mark Henry correlation? I'm using that word again, and I don't know if it worked or not. But from a mile away, I'm like, Mark Henry, Salmon Jacket, AJ Styles, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and I'm glad the Good Brothers were involved in it. That's what I didn't see coming. I didn't see them being in on it. So I was happy about that. But the whole retirement thing and they dragged it all night, I'm like, no, he's totally working them.
Yeah. Jay, what did you think? Were you seeing this going? We know where this is going.
I thought it was going to be more of I'm in the back of the line now for Cody's title. I'm going to go back to TNA. But no way did I think he was retiring.
Did you? Go ahead, Brian, admit it.
As I'm watching it, I'm going, no. I had the Mark Henry graphic pulled up. But the thing is, we could go back on the tape, and I'm sure we'll revisit this. I think that was one of my year predictions. This is 2024 is the year AJ Styles retires. So a small part of me was like, maybe this is coming true. Selfishly, I was hoping I was right. But Yeah, I didn't think I thought about your angle too, Jay, with the possibilities we talked about last week of the TNA partnership concepts and where that could go. Certainly saw that angle, but what ended up happening was what I expected. So my next question is the Mark Henry salmon jacket retirement with John Cena. I believe it was 11 years ago. What is this in your guys' mind? What's the statute of limitations on we're running this angle back that we're just doing this time from complete, connect the dots of what happened in this case 11 years ago? Is that too soon? It's long enough?
I don't think there is such a thing as statute of limitations. If it works, it works.
Joe?
Yeah, I don't like if it was a statute of limitations, 10 years.
Okay.
If there was one, but it's like there's so many things that they redo.
Yeah.
So with something like that iconic, the Mark Henry fake, I ain't done yet. 10 years. I think that's a good generation that's moved on from that moment.
Yeah.
Hey, how am I sounding, by the way? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, it's a little echoey, but it's not. It's more than passable.
Obviously,
Jason is currently on assignment this week, so
yes.
I'm traveling, and it's the sanitation convention, Midwest edition, and I don't have my normal setup, and I wasn't even supposed to be on, but my dedication to this program and the brand, I had to be here. So I have no idea if I can't hear myself. I'm back to the original earbuds and iPad, and I'm wearing my clear glasses, which I hate how they look on camera. I don't like it. So as long as I'm good,
you're good. We're good. You're going above and beyond for nomination for Employee of the Month.
I'm a leader. I'm the leader.
Yeah,
I'm that leader.
And
gotta be here.
It's right. It's how it is. You lead by example. Yep. Gotta show up. All right. So it looks like we're gonna get some more Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles feud, which I think is good. They had a hell of a match at Backlash, and I think there's still some meat on the bone for those two to do some fun stuff. And maybe that TNA angle will come into play.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Monday Night Raw. So, of course, we talked last week about the Liv kiss to Dom that USA Network missed and obviously was on socials. And kind of the breakdown was like, well, Dom wasn't, he didn't throw her off of him, but he didn't, embrace her either. And so we got more of the developments for that this week. And Liv is making her intentions clear. She had Dom in the corner, and hi fellas. Yeah, that would have done me in. Whoa. I'd be all about that.
What's crazy through this whole thing? I'm kind of digging Liv Morgan now.
Okay, welcome. There's room for you too. Hey, Kev, by the way, we are recording. Welcome, Kevin, to the program.
I am also digging Liv Morgan more than ever.
Look at that.
Same, more than ever, right?
Yeah, I'm like Dom. I'm married. Is it bad to be a little jealous?
No.
Just kidding. No, I
mean, yes.
She's hitting on all cylinders. She's hitting
Brian,
on all
don't worry,
cylinders.
our wives don't listen.
We'll edit that out, yeah.
They don't watch.
They don't watch, they don't listen, they don't follow. They don't love us.
Speak for yourself.
True words are spoken. My God Almighty. So she's moving on in. Finn Balor, the cock block of the Judgment Day. The fuck, Prince? What's up with you, man? What's going on with you there? And look at that. Liv later on, after not only did we have the little seduction, I guess you could call it, in the corner, but helped to save Dom from Braun Strowman. woman helping out the cause there. So, like you said, Jay, it sounds like you want to say the continuation of the Liv Morgan revenge tour. You're becoming a big fan of.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy the T-shirt just yet, but it might be in my cart.
Yeah, Joe, you're a little quiet on this one.
I think it's just brilliant. I think it's just brilliant storytelling. I mean,
yeah.
just because she didn't fate, like it's a way to keep Rhea front and center in this whole storyline without her being there. And the revenge tour was not just about taking the title, it was taking everything. And that is a dish best served cold, and that is what she is doing right now. So this is just basically keeping Rhea in the spotlight the entire time. So when she comes back, monster pop. She was going to get one anyway, but it's going to be even bigger. And it's doing something that we don't see all the time in wrestling. It's getting both of them over. Like Jason's now converted to, I'm digging Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Kevin, you always liked her. And
Yeah.
Brian, you're just jealous that she was kissing the Dominic sign and
on
not
the
a
truck
picture of
or
you.
whatever.
Yeah, the truck, just like you did at SummerSlam. So
Right.
yeah, it's the best storyline on Raw right now.
Have you guys seen
By
the
far.
meme that's going around in multiple variations where it's like Liv versus Rhea for the custody of Dominic?
Yeah,
like
the
the
ladder.
ladder match.
yeah, the ladder match. It's
I have. Because that was a real thing, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that?
Yeah,
that
for the
Eddie
custody of
versus
Dominic.
Eddie and Ray.
When Dominic had the
The
gel
slim,
down,
the Slim
very
Shady
blondie hair.
look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God, I would love for them to actually do that for real
No,
in SummerSlam.
That would
No.
ruin this whole story if it was a ladder match for the custody of Dom.
They're gonna do some throwbacks somehow.
I know it.
Maybe
I
not
know
the-
it. I know it passes the statute of limitations, Brian. But still, there's some
Yeah.
things that don't need to be redone.
No, here it is.
All right.
Whoever wins, Dom is escorted out by RoboCop.
And then put into an electric chair in the middle of the ring
Yep.
On a pole.
on a pole.
Kev,
Incredible.
but are you digging with the story, the direction that it's going, where there's this whole, Dom's kind of trying to play innocent and Liv's going full bore into it.
100%.
Yeah.
When Dom's in the corner looking so awkward and you see it on his face, he's doing a great sell job. The crowd still hates him more than ever from the boos. It's fantastic.
I don't hate him.
No, you voted for him as like superstar of the year,
He's
right?
the MVP.
That mullet's looking
2023.
nicer each week, though.
I don't think there's a lot of acting involved. I mean, he did really just get married, so he's probably like, this is kind of awkward.
And that was a great meme shared too by one of you guys, I think you, Jay, about
It was me.
the
Wife,
girlfriend, side chick. It's like dirty dog, dirty, dirty dog. Teach me your ways, dirty dog, dirty dog.
What the fuck is happening here?
What is going on here?
Jealous. I'm jealous. He's moved in
on your girl,
my wrestling crush. Yeah, and that was funny seeing her smooch the Dom truck picture, and I was like, girl, I've been there. Literally, there I am, like caressing her on the C4 energy drink van.
Yeah, you look like a dirty C4 van. She's gonna be kissing on like a 53-footer trailer.
And there's levels to this and production levels. And one was Jason's phone, and the other is whatever camera work they have at Monday Night Raw, I guess. How about the freaking pop that Otis got when he stepped in front of Chad Gable from berating Maxine and what's his name? Tozawa.
Joe's favorite.
I looked up, guys. Like I was watching, I wasn't watching, and I just heard an eruption and saw Otis stand in front of Gable. That was crazy. People are digging this.
But the problem is they're not going to do anything about it.
That's the thing. Exactly.
What do you mean by do anything?
Anything. they're not going to turn on Gable. What was it?
You
Maybe
don't
it was
think that's got to
maybe-
happen some point, right?
Maybe is it an act? Like Gable said when he went backstage with him, "Oh my God, you did such a great job." Is that what's going on here? Because if that's not what's going on, nothing's going on, and it's not going to go on, and it's going to go on too long of nothing going on.
Yeah, I get it. There is a shelf life to it. And I do love what you said about how Gable turns anything to like his advantage. Like, Maxine, oh, great job selling the knee injury when you fell off the apron. She's like, it's really hurt, coach. Yeah, just like that. Like, what? It's really, really good.
I agree with Jay. If they're gonna do something, the guy got to do it fast. But you're gonna have Sammy and Chad still in an ongoing program. You can't throw Otis in a program with Chad. And the thing with Otis is he'll keep getting the pops. People will cheer for him. The mic work's just not there to take it to that next level. Where Chad, amazing in the ring, absolutely fantastic on the mic. Yeah. Otis will get the sympathy, cheer, right? Pushing back against the bully for a night, maybe 2 or 3 nights.
Unless
what?
They turn on him to cause him to lose the title at the castle.
They finally stand up.
At Castlevania Mania.
Castlevania.
Shout out Castlevania. That was a hell of a game. Cole would seem like he was really pushing that this week of the like, why are they with this guy? Come on, like get with it. You shouldn't be taking this. I'm wondering how it's gonna go. But you're right, I think, Kevin, that Otis to me is kind of like a George the Animal Steel type. Okay. Where like he's over, people love him, but he doesn't need to be like a champion of anything. Like he's just a good, enjoyable wrestler. So unless
he's singing on the wrestling album on the worst song I've ever heard. But no, it's a great comparison. He's not a loser, but it's like a lovable loser. Right?
Correct.
That's like where it's like might not be a loser in life. You might not lose a lot of matches, but it's like you enjoy him for him.
What's your outlook on this one, Joe?
It was like when he won Money in the Bank. We're like, oh, okay, he's not gonna win. Like he's not a world champion. He's a good hand to have on the roster, and he's over no matter what. But like he's not main event material, I don't think. Yeah. This is just all like a replay, another rehash of Virgil and Ted DiBiase, Miz Dow on Miz. Who was the other one? Alex Riley and Miz too, when he finally turned on him as well. It's like the pop of when they finally have had enough and they turn on their aggressor is always big. It's what happens afterwards, which is more important. And what happened afterwards of those 3 things? Not much.
Not much.
Like when it came to Mizdow, I mean, they face each other in the Andre Battle Royal, and Sandow didn't even eliminate Miz. He got eliminated and then turned into a mocking all Macho Man Mandow or whatever, if you remember that.
He was doing like a different. Was he doing like a different
he was doing
persona?
A different classic character, and Axel was Axelmania. But anyways, it's like the point is, it's what happens after that pop is all that matters. Will he still have it, or is it just another one of those? It was a nice moment. Moving on.
At least he's making $350 on the main roster. That came out where everyone on the main roster is at least making that, but we'll see. I want to be proven wrong. I want to see.
But Kevin, do you see him as a world champion?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
So see
he's in the right spot where he's supposed to be at.
Tag champ, max level.
Yes. Tag champ, compete for an IC title. But
I mean, if he was in another organization, there'd be more belts for him to go after that aren't the main title. But he's in WWE where they don't oversaturate the market with title belts.
What if he went to NXT?
I'll give him the championship in NXT.
He could be a North American champion there.
North American, not the main.
if he went down there and developed his promo skills, I could see him maybe getting to the level of NXT face champion, as in the face of NXT, their main champion.
Yeah.
Or make him repackage him a little bit. Like, oh, he's going to go back to NXT. Okay, we're expecting Otis, right? The comical guy. Oh, yeah. Like, make him a killer.
That's a
No,
kiss
no,
of
no.
death.
Talking.
If you
He
make
doesn't
him
talk that much.
if you
Make
make him
him a
the
tough guy.
comical wrestler, that's a kiss of death right there. He's not champion if you're a comical wrestler.
But he is a comical wrestler now.
Do what they did with Brodus Clay. Promos that he's a killer and he's a badass. And then you get the Funkasaurus.
Yeah.
No, but he's like the opposite. He's already the Funkasaurus.
The Otisaurus. Let's do this. See what I did there?
Otis is he's a nice guy too, from what I gather. I do believe he is, and I apologize in advance if I say this after. I believe he's like some level of like dyslexic. Okay, like he's got something like that. Nevertheless, the other funny thing that I was going to mention about Otis is, if you guys remember, yes, he did like peaches. Fair enough with Miss Mandy Rose. Back, with the WrestleMania week of all the different things, and how I was like marking out over, holy cow, they're going to have Otis versus Omos in an eating contest on like their socials. And Big E was the host, and I was like, "This is WrestleMania, baby! I gotta watch this." And they're just talking about everything because they had so much time to kill in between bites and whatever. And he admitted that he's like, "It was only like a week ago I found out Io Sky was her name. I've been calling her Leo." And like Big E almost like, what? And he's like, yeah, I'd see her. I'd be like, what's up, Leo? And she'd be like, oh, hello, Otis. So they were just howling.
So the dyslexia thing is true.
Thank you.
And then when WWE offered to help him enroll in reading classes to help, he took advantage of it, and he finished his first novel, which was Pet Sematary by Stephen King.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's awesome. That's a big big book.
A page turner there. Yeah.
Good for him.
But that's cool. All right. Thank you for confirming that. All right.
Sometimes dead is better. Had to get that out.
Somebody has to do the work around here. So.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Well, hopefully he comes in like a semi truck and just takes over that NXT championship.
Let's speaking of NXT, let's talk about Battleground. This is a show that
I got it, Kevin.
Thank you.
I'm a little more amped for this one than I have been the last couple NXT PLEs, or whatever you want to call them, the special events that they do. They've all been fine. They're always good. But this one has a little extra buzz just because of what's happened in the last week. Let me go over the card, guys, and we can kind of talk about just things that we're really looking forward to see. Lola Vice, Shayna Baszler in an NXT Underground match, which, I mean, I don't know. Could they have just put the UFC cage up there since they're in the Apex? I'm sure there's logistical reasons why they can't, but that's certainly they're both former MMA fighters, so I wonder what the angle is there. We got Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus the Good Brothers in the tag title match. Obafemi, Wesley, Joe Coffey for the North American title. The first women's North American champion will be crowned in a ladder match. It's Sol Ruka, Lash Legend, Fallon Henley, Jada Parker, Mia Yim Meechin, and Kalani Jordan. Trick Williams and Ethan Page for the NXT Championship. And then I would think Roxanne and Jordan Grace for the NXT Women's Championship. I would think that's your main event.
Yeah.
You guys agree? Yeah.
Or
right, thoughts on the show, man?
Yeah. Right now it's 50-50. I mean, it could go either way. I don't have a.
In either way, it's not a bad way.
Exactly.
It looks like a co-main event in those two. Like
that's what they should refer to it.
They should bill it as
double main.
Mm-hmm. The card looks amazing. When you have a ladder match, two prestigious level championship matches for the women's and men's belts respectively, and in a loaded card, you have a lot of talent on there, and it doesn't look like it's Joe, you just watched the 5.5 hour AEW show, right?
Yeah, it just ended like 3 hours ago. So yeah.
and they'll probably keep to a nice 3 hour, maybe 3.5 hour.
No, NXTs are usually done in 3 hours or
I
less.
say 2.5,
It's just-
3 probably. Yeah.
Looks like a lot of people, and of course the ladder match, adds a lot of competitors to it. Card looks great.
It'll be a fun one. I won't be watching, but it'll be a fun one.
Sunday night, right?
Sunday night.
Sunday night. Yep. Yep. Joe, you see this card? What's sticking out for you?
I'm looking forward to the main event. Of course, the ladder match is going to be sweet, but I'm interested in the Shayna Baszler match. But that's the one I'm interested in. But what I want to see happen, I want to see Meacham and the Good Brothers win their titles, and then like have the OC take over SmackDown with like AJ going after Cody. That's what I want to see happen because that will get NXT eyes on NXT as well with the take advantage of the Fox broadcasting. More eyes on the product, the better. Because once they move to USA, it's less households.
NXT's they're the ones actually moving to the CW.
Right.
And
so like
SmackDown goes to USA.
Keep that network, audience is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So that's why I want to see. I want to see the OC be something big again.
Again,
do we
be anything?
Big?
Be anything.
When they came out when it was AJ and the Good Brothers when they were facing John Cena. What'd you do last night? Beat up John Cena. Like they were all badasses at that time, and then they stopped and started doing comedy sketches for some reason, and that pretty much just went. I want to see him being the guys that we know that they can be, and I'd love to see Carl Anderson get a singles run too.
He's very good.
I agree.
He's on speed now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
Not sure how I feel about that.
So it's a maximum of 3 minutes.
I believe so.
I like your idea, Joe.
Yeah,
women's
going
North American.
Over the card, I'm like, wait a minute, they're all there.
That's a good call because they could all win. Lead into holding the belts at Crash at the Castle. Did I say
Castlevania Mania.
Yeah,
Castlevania Mania.
Yeah. No, it'd be great.
Title.
Instant where AJ could be like, I'm bringing my gold too to the OC. Oh, I like that. I think it's great. We'll see. I'm excited for those double main events. I'm hoping I can see Fallon Henley winning. She's been kind of featured. All those ladies have been featured a little bit, right? So like Ruka, holy moly.
She just has the greatest finisher of wrestling of all time.
Holy
moly. I don't know how the fuck she does it. So good. I don't know how she pulls that off.
Would you like 1 ounce of that athleticism of any
what
of
would
those
you
superstars?
do? I'd improve my beer pong game.
Brian would learn how to use correlation, right?
Yes.
I need 1% more intelligence than athleticism.
I think the card looks, quite honestly, one of the best
excited
NXT cards of all time. It's on paper. So I
think so too.
Hopefully the results are as good on paper, but
yeah, the underground match I think is, like I said, well, they're in this UFC, the Apex, like they're both former MMA fighters. That's an interesting. We saw Ronda at Shane at SummerSlam, guys, and it didn't really hit.
Well,
that
you guys did.
there.
I went to use the restroom and then went to the concession stand. I missed the entire match.
Got it. Yeah. Well, you didn't miss anything.
I was told I missed nothing, but I was like, nope.
It just I don't know. It didn't really translate to me. So maybe in the smaller venue.
That's why I'm looking forward to it because of the location. If it was at the Performance Center, it would be a throwaway. But being at the UFC, I think it's going to be a little bit more interesting.
And I think I read, the very generic UFC will have a big presence at the show. Like, Jay, you think Dana White's going to be there front row?
I hope not.
Once he gets off the phone figuring out what's up with McGregor, if he could actually fight, he'll be there to be like, come on, Obafemi, I'm signing you to face John Jones.
My God.
Now,
I'd like to see that.
Maybe
That'd be
Conor McGregor is going to be an NXT under.
There you go. There you go. I'd like to see that. The forbidden door is completely. I'm sorry. The prohibited portal is smashed open.
Patent pending.
But we all want to see Jordan win the title, right? Just for the novelty of her going to TNA with the NXT title, right? I just think that's interesting.
I liked the NXT jacket.
NXT very good. Yeah.
I keep thinking about what Kevin said 2 weeks ago. If TNA is selling, like, I don't know. I feel like there is more to this than what is being let out. If they're paying her 6 figures for 3 appearances, obviously someone's going to go to NXT to TNA and bring it back. And then I don't know if you guys saw did you see the cowboy that was supposedly fired?
Oh, you did show me this.
Brooks Jensen.
Oh, yeah.
He came out during a commercial break, and then now he's using words like impact. And so I don't know. Maybe he wasn't actually fired, but time will tell. But I am excited for this, and I think that this is what we need, and this is doing it the right way. A prohibited portal.
Yes.
Patent pending. Portal.
Yes. A lot of P's there. And that's the thing, is that they did announce, TNA announced their next big show, Against All Odds, which I believe is next Friday or Saturday, the 14th.
Next Friday.
Next Friday. Yeah. Just like, okay. Yeah. Friday night. So it's an open challenge for Jordan Grace, and they had a little, backstage segment there on NXT of just her kind of being introduced to all these NXT women. Is there somebody on the roster that you'd be like, ooh, I wouldn't mind seeing them two fight at the next TNA show?
Awesome Kong.
Oh, that doesn't, it counts, but
Chelsea
which by the way, real quick.
That's who I want to. That's who I want to see.
Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green.
Yeah, that's a good one.
My wife has started to watch Glow.
Oh,
we're a little late to the party.
4 years later.
But yeah, gonna be pissed when that final season never comes out.
I know.
It's okay. It's okay. My wife just started watching Cheers.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm kidding.
That's awesome.
It's a new show about a bar in Boston.
So I have all this internal monologue in my head of like, oh, there's an episode like Brodus Clay's in there. That's Brodus Clay. Oh, that's awesome, Kong. There's a girl that I hired at Radio Disney who's one of the girls on there. I think her character name is Julie.
Oh,
so that's a very
beat up. Yeah, did she get beat up by Welfare Queen? Because that was the Austin Kong, right?
Right now, the promoter just hit on her, and she's like, "I'm your daughter." Does that ring a bell?
What? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, really? We hired that girl at Radio Disney. She was a U of M theater student and worked for us for a little bit till she graduated, and she moved out to Hollywood, and sure enough, she was on Glow.
She ruined it.
Shout out to Brittany. Whatever.
She did. Yeah, she ruined it. He went to Vegas, and then she ruined it. Probably.
Yeah.
Bummed.
Yep.
Screw your employee.
But the real question is, does your wife know that this is based off of real wrestling?
I don't think so.
Did you tell her?
I don't think so. She's a very no nonsense. Like, let me watch.
Is she going to be mad when it's like backstage and there's just topless babes walking around and you're sitting next to her?
Mad? No, she'll be fine. She's fine. Again,
I think
that's where I pull in my inner Dom Mysterio and just go stone faced. Meanwhile, on the inside, I'm going, I bet you can't get a boner.
No,
I was just going to, yeah.
I think the Against All Odds.
That's when he's pretending to be on his phone, like, oh, I was just looking at an email.
Yeah, it's probably looking towards Jordan Grace, right? Would be great to win the NXT. Roxanne go to TNA, win the TNA title, maybe, and then each other's. You don't think so? And then
I love the idea of Chelsea Green.
Yeah, Joe's
And
call, right?
somehow
Green?
Chelsea Green wins the TNA, or
Yes.
no, Chelsea Green wins the NXT title.
The NXT, not the TNA.
Yeah,
But it's not going to be for the NXT title. It'll be for the TNA title.
I don't know.
To have her
that's-
win, but the thing is, it's on the 14th. They're in Scotland on the 15th.
Is she on? Is she
No,
on the
but
pay per view?
Piper
Oh,
is.
yeah, Piper
Yeah.
is.
All right.
So
So
you
that
think
ain't
she'd be
happening.
accommodating? Yeah.
They could make it happen if she did like a red eye, like right afterwards, if it's the first
It's like
match.
16. It's like 16 hours.
Yeah.
do you know what we're probably going to get? We're probably going to get Natty.
I've
Because
been pretty
enough is
high
enough,
on
and
Natty
it's time
as
for
of
a
late.
change. She's going to TNA.
I have been high on Natty as of late.
Could be
My
right.
answer is
Chad.
always Chelsea Green for the
I want to
surprise
see what she
entrance.
does with her slight change. Natty does.
Her
Chelsea
wearing
never
less
change.
wearing less pink is making Natty more interesting.
Yeah, because she's not relying on her legacy.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. We've been talking about this for a little bit now. Of this, what is this partnership going to look like? So, I do hope it's from somebody from NXT, and then hopefully it continues on. That'll be good. All right, let's go on to AEW, and we've had a couple weeks now of Chris Jericho. We had TV time. Now it's the learning tree, and he had all these adventures, as I put it, on Wednesday night of, how to scoop chicken and dumplings, how to be a parent to Angelo Parker, driver to the complete stop. Jay, what's your thoughts on this one? This seems to be amusing you, I believe.
I am sucked into the Jericho vortex.
The vortex got you.
I love it. It is
Oh
so out there.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I were watching it. Well, I was watching it. She was playing some dumb game on her phone. And she just heard him make one of those awful jokes last night. She just started laughing. She goes, "What the fuck is this?" And I'm like, "It's the learning tree. Be a branch."
That's good. That's good.
So it's fun. I had a conversation with someone recently about Jericho and the boos he's getting. Why? And I was told, he's a horrible person in real life, and that people are just tired of him beating the younger talent.
Okay.
And I started thinking about it, and this is for the group. Do you guys care what these men and women are like when they're not on camera?
Okay. I mean, I think to a degree I do, but not a lot. And while not necessarily on camera, Jay, you've attended 3 Jericho cruises. Kevin, you've been on 1. Joe's about to go on 1. That's a very fan-centric
I've been on 4 of them,
thing.
but
You've been on 4. Oh, my apologies. Yes, we'll strike that from the record.
The Quattro.
So I'm saying, like, if you
I
really
am the
just like,
Quattro.
I guess my point is Jericho's backstage in real life going, "Fuck you, Marks." I mean, I guess, yes, is he making money off of that? Okay, then maybe that's the angle, but I still don't think he'd probably want to do something like that and be in a rock band.
Well,
But
wait a
I
minute.
don't
Wait
know.
a minute. When did he say "fuck you, Marks"? Isn't that Cardona's thing? Your hero?
It is, yeah. But he does that as part of his gimmick. I'm saying, like you said, in real life, if Jericho is like this dickhead to people saying "fuck you, Marks," then is he really going like, "We're gonna do a cruise," which is gonna be filled with Marks?
If it makes
I don't know.
dollars, it makes sense.
There is that.
But
anyway,
like,
go ahead.
but the point of it all is,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what they're like.
I agree and
mean-
disagree at the same time because they're real people outside of the ring and off camera, and they can be whatever they want to be, and that's fine. It's like, if you entertain me on TV, that's fine. However, if you're a real dick, like, to everybody outside, then it kind of does tarnish your TV time, as you will. Now, Jericho, the rumors that has been out there, I don't think that tarnishes him at all, like as much. But I can say, like, from previous experience of, like, working in sports broadcasting, when I met some athletes who were real jerks, it kind of tarnished the way I looked at them on the court. Because
Sure.
I'm like I can't really cheer for him because you're such an entitled dick.
Well, that's
But
the point. That's the point, Joe. We don't know what he's like behind closed
exactly,
doors.
we don't.
So it doesn't
That's why
matter
I
to
said,
me.
like, if he did something to me, it would tarnish it. But he hasn't done anything
Right.
to me. It's all hearsay.
Right.
But that's why I said I agree with you, but not 100%. Because if the person did something to me, then I would have a problem with it.
But in a firm entertainment
But he's
aspect,
never done anything to you, so it doesn't matter.
I want to be entertained. Like Conor McGregor, he's done stupid shit in his life. I still love hearing him talk in a press conference, right? If you don't hurt kids, you're not a racist, and you're just not an overall evil person, I'll be entertained by you.
Yeah.
Like, I'll use Draymond Green. Draymond Green's an asshole on the NBA basketball court, right? He's a jerk to everybody, but still one of my favorite players of Michigan State all time, right? Because he's entertaining to me. Jericho never treated me bad.
This is like my issue with Jeremy Renner. Hawkeye should have died in the Avengers movies because Jeremy Renner blew me off for a photo during his press tour for one of those Jack Reacher movies that he was in, or whatever the whatever franchise he was in for one movie. So I don't know. I just think that to bring it back to the beginning, I don't care if Jericho is a dick, because he isn't to me.
Yeah.
And he's entertaining. So
the thing about Jericho, like you mentioned, with like some of the detractors and getting boos, saw a good graphic, and I don't know if this will show up, and it probably will.
So yeah, it does the circle
there it
of.
is. So anyway, it's the circle of Jericho, and I'll break it down. And this is how a lot of his career, I think, last couple of years has been. You start with number one, and there's the phrase is, "Oh God damn it, Jericho's reinvented himself again, and he's being meta now." And then you move on, and this is the stage I think that we're at right now. Actually, this is kind of funny, not gonna lie. That's where we're at. And then, probably about a month or two from now, it's gonna be, "Okay, Chris, don't overstay your welcome." And then another 2 months from now, when we're getting ready for like Revolution or something, it'll be, "Why won't he fuck off?" And then it goes to the reinvention again.
That's
that's pretty accurate, right?
That's
like that's I think how we all feel about Chris Jericho at this point.
I've given the guy so much goddamn money on these cruises.
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm a fan.
I'm
a fan.
That's funny. Was there any other takeaways from AEW for you guys that's worth mentioning? I thought it was a very show.
I don't like corny, shilly MJF. That fucked up the whole return for me. He got rid of the denim vest, just came out with a jacket. Okay, that's cool. But the jokes and the shilling about buying his merch, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Are you glad he's back?
Not Wednesday. Like this.
You'd rather have no MJF versus.
I'd rather the old MJF should have come back. Not this bullshit. Not the singing, dancing that Brian likes. The corny, shilly thing that apparently Kevin likes. And I don't care what Joe likes. It just this needs to stop.
I'll take any MJF to see MJF. I'm glad he's back. I like hearing his voice. I like seeing him on my TV.
Him and Roosh is kind of an odd pairing.
That I like.
Okay.
Because it's different.
It is different. That's what I'm
Nobody
saying.
saw
Yeah,
that coming.
would not have pictured that as a first feud, I guess.
Well, there's one thing in AEW that we haven't mentioned yet: the story of Will Ospreay needing to take time off due to the hectic schedule.
Well, look,
boy.
Is that true?
That's clickbait. He's only out a week.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like,
Okay.
come on.
And he does, and he still lives in England, in the UK,
right?
because he didn't
So
want
he's
to
traveling. Yeah,
and he did because he didn't want his kid and wife to change their life. That's why he didn't go to WWE. It was clickbait. We all got me included, because I was the one that started it. Look, it was probably good for him not be on TV for a week, but who's to say he doesn't end up on Collision tomorrow?
He should never be on Collision.
Yeah.
He should be Dynamite only.
Yeah. Did you guys like the Tony Storm, Mariah May, Saraya interaction? That shit was funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
set
funny.
up the Forbidden Door match.
And Tony Storm talking about the head games and Taz not knowing what to say.
She's still great, man. She's still great.
So good. So good.
And one final thing before we wrap anything up that I think that we're going with. Who here watched the WCW Who's to Blame?
No, it's called Who Killed WCW.
Who Killed WCW? Yeah. Who's
I was going to say,
watched it?
Joe with the PG version there.
Yeah. Who's to blame? Who also killed Tupac?
Who's to blame?
I haven't seen it.
Who killed? I watched it too, so I'm just like wondering.
Yeah, give us your initial thoughts.
Is it needed?
It's on Vice TV's YouTube channel in its entirety. So if you're listening to this or watching this, you're like, oh, I don't have Vice. Go to Vice TV on YouTube and you can watch the first episode. So it was good, I thought. But again, now they're saying that it's episode 4, that there's unseen footage from the final Nitro.
That'll be cool to see.
But that's still a month away.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just
so,
4
are you going to
episodes?
stick around for a month? We'll have to see.
The question is it needed?
I mean, I wouldn't think
episode
so.
one didn't blow me away because it wasn't anything we didn't already know.
I've heard interviews with Brian Gerwertz, I think on Busted Open and Cheap Heat, and he's talked about how they went into this, and anybody that they could bring in for interviews, they said, this is not going to go under the WWE banner of the Monday Night Wars documentary, where they could slant it however they want. They're like, this is independent. Say what's on your mind. No repercussions. No, modification of your messaging to fit the WWE narrative. So that interests me, but it was still enough that when was the show on? Tuesday at 10 p.m., like right after NXT? That I totally forgot. It was just like, okay.
Let me ask you this. Did you hear anything in episode 1 that you didn't know already?
I feel like there was something.
Don't spoil, because that gets me more excited to watch. I'm going to watch it.
Here's a spoiler. Conan's on it.
Conan's on there.
I'm watching it tonight.
All right. Yeah, we got to go.
No, it's an enjoyable watch.
Yeah.
Just like I said, I feel like there's got to be something more to this, and they're not going to do this, but they did this, so there's going to be more to this.
All right. Yeah,
I know he's one of the producers, but I don't think The Rock needs to be. I don't think Dwayne Johnson needs to be a talking head. He wasn't part of it.
But he is. Yeah.
Yes, he was a lot.
Oh,
and he was talking about how innovative and historic WCW was, and it's like, shut up! You weren't there. You were competition. You shouldn't. You never were there.
Yeah.
You're just a producer.
You were down in Memphis, Flex Cabana.
Let's just leave it at this, and then we can move on. As wrestling fans, it's definitely fun to see. Will we learn more? I think that's on a individual basis.
Yeah.
What's next?
Nothing. That's it. I'll wrap up with this because Kevin wasn't at the beginning. Kevin, I'm fighting a bit of a cold. When you're
getting and it's game 1 of the NBA Finals.
I know, and I gotta go.
It's called pretendinitis.
I've avoided I don't know what the score is. I don't know.
I do.
Don't tell me anything. I don't know if Porzingis blew out both his calves already in the first minute of the game. I don't know.
Crazy.
Don't tell me. But no, I started off the show asking Joe and Jason
No,
because
I'm just kidding.
I'm coming down with a cold. Do you have a go-to when you're getting sick? Something that I gotta get this food. I gotta get this medicine. I do this to prevent it. What's in your wheelhouse, if anything?
We have these, like, things called, the emergency packets.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
I'm a fan. We bought like an 80 pack about like eight years ago at Sam's Club. Whenever I'm not feeling good, literally, you just shake the packet. Oh, we still have 84 packets of the raspberry flavor. No, the stuff, it's like magic. It is.
I've had 3 in 24 hours. So that's
Brian, we just forgot one thing. You live in Michigan. Verner's and chicken noodle soup. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
If you can crimple up some Better Made chips for like some croutons in the soup, that would be even better.
So Verner's chicken noodle soup and Better Made chips
and Oberon.
And an Oberon to top it off. Yeah, that's the Michigan home remedy toolkit there.
Yeah.
If you don't feel well, just drive to my house because I have a quarter barrel of Oberon tap from last weekend. All
right. 3-hour drive starts now. We'll watch Who Killed WCW together with Conan. All right. that will do it for this week.
Where's Conan?
All right. What's our socials? At That WrestlePod. That sounds right, I think. Whatamaneuver.net's our merchandise. Sorry, I don't have my notes in front of me.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/That Wrestling Podcast. There it is. I knew I had to get that one in there. We'll be back next week. I think we have Clash at the Castle to promote. Yeah. Or, sorry, what's the actual real title of the show, Jason? It is
Castlevania Mania.
Castlevania Mania next week. Drew versus Priest. We'll be previewing and predicting that. And
we need a guest picker.
Yeah, we'll have a guest picker, I'm sure. So all the fun still to come.
Kev, can you reach out to that guy that you saw at the Fort Wayne House Show?
Yeah.
Maybe he would do it?
For sure.
You got it. All right. DC Hendricks, if you're listening or watching, look for a message from Kev. Come and see it.
Boom.
All right, guys. As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And please enjoy wrestling.
Thanks for listening. Follow That WrestlePod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
1, 2, 3. That's it.